Okay, hopefully we've got our technical difficulties sorted out. Tremendous apologies to the audience out there tonight. My name is Thomas. I'm Galactic Roamer. Uh, I am joined by Lockhart. I'm joined by Orasonic. I'm joined by Doc, and I'm joined by Val. Today, this is the captain's table. Today, we're, to put it simply, doing science, high end, and maybe a couple things in between as far as it goes. But today we are basically going to try and get through this, hopefully with no more glitches, and show everybody a little bit of fun. Basically, I've been doing this for quite a while now, uh, and we're going to basically just go through some the basics of science, the things to look for. If you're looking to do a science build that can essentially suck the center of the galaxy into itself, or be as precise as a scalpel and take the head off of a warp nacelle, if whatever the case may be. Uh, at this point, we'll just go ahead and dive into it since we're running a little late tonight. So again, our apologies, but hey, in the end, we're here to have some fun. So let's try and do that. Now, I do apologize again. There'll probably be a little more sound and whatnot than usual, and we'll try and just kind of get past it as far as it goes. But basically, today, this is what we're looking at here. Apparently, the order of the day is crossfields. And now here's the thing. First of all, uh, I'm sitting here with a mirror crossfield. This is what I call my flagship. The name of it is a little, well, let's say the name of my ship is not so much well, it's basically a form of function as far as it goes. This is the USS Murder Balls, and it pretty much it's named for what it does. Puts everything in a ball and it murders it expeditiously. Now, I don't think actually, no, I know at least one of my colleagues has a mirror crossfield. The others might be a little different, but let's just go ahead and start and talk us a little bit. Let's start with Doc. Doc, you're flying. What do you have as far as it goes?
Me, I'm same as you. Mirror Crossfield. I love it to death.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Aura, what about yourself?
Well, I don't have a science ship on this guy because, well, I don't have my ground build set up in my science character fully. So I brought out the good old vengeance.
Ah, yes, look at that. You know what? The vengeance can serve the function very well. It can do it. It's not going to do it on the same level, but it can hurt. Trust me. You don't want to. You don't want to underestimate this gal. She's a little older in the game, still incredibly viable. I've faced him, and I have come away a little bloody nosed. But well, we'll see how today goes because it's going to be an adventure. Uh, Now, Lockhart, talk to me about your crossfield. What are you doing?
I am in a standard crossfield upgraded to T6X, and I'm running a slightly updated version of my Beam EPG build.
Ah, the beam version. Most high-end science you're going to find runs torpedoes. Do psi these days, viable. Not something I dabble in often, but always fun to see. One of the things I used to tell my students when I teach this, and I teach science a lot, it's one of the things I really enjoy doing is, if you try and do more than one thing like this, you end up doing neither very well. Well, that's not always entirely the case these days. So we'll be visiting more of that in the future. And then Val, talk to me about what you're looking at as far as what you're doing.
A fairly early stage science build in the legendary crossfield, also known as the Glen class. Not made of promo ship money like some of you guys crossfields, but can put the normal crossfield skin on it. Only real downside is weapons, and she's a bit attack heavy, but we make do.
Well, no, that's the thing with the crossfields. When you're talking science, crossfields are definitely top end, but they are a little more tacky than probably some prefer. I know I have a friend of mine who prefers another vessel, which we'll talk about here in a little while, which is definitely heavier in the science, just as fun. But for me, it's been the Mirror Crossfield. It is definitely a ship that I can maneuver like a fighter. It's amazing. I enjoy it. I have also taken this ship into a new arena in the game, PvP. I'm not going to say that it's Karat worthy, to be honest, because that's a whole different situation. But as far as playing with fleet mates and playing it rather well and interesting, it can do the job. Now at this point, let's go over some of the basics of what you're looking for in a psi build. Now you all feel free to jump in when you have something relevant. By all means, this is a kind of a forum roundtable, figuratively and literally. We'll do that for a little bit, then we'll jump into some things. We'll kind of show them off and let you guys see what science can really do in force. Matter of fact, there's one or two TFOs which are super fun with science. As a matter of fact, let's just say you'll probably never see anything like it if it's something that you're not familiar with. Now, as far as it goes now, this, like I said, is basically as far as you can take a vessel like this. This is a destroyer. The destroyers, they're going to be a little heavier than an escort. They won't be as bulky and slow as a cruiser. They're that in between class where you still got that maneuverability, but you still got that hull. You can take a pound and you can deliver it back and you can move. Now here, what basically we're looking at is, get rid of that there. There we go. Move it out of the way. So we're basically looking at a side torp build. And what we're looking at is we're taking torpedoes on the front end here because these are, unlike other science ships, a 4 in the front, a 3 in the back there. So you have a little extra firepower as far as that goes. Now this, I'm going to adjust real quick here. That should be this. There we go. And essentially, you want torpedoes that are going to work with your science abilities. For instance, you've got the gravimetric torpedo. It's going to, when it's delivered as payload, it's going to shoot off a small grav well. You get this in a spread, you get a lot of little grav wells on a large group pulled in with a grav well. That's just going to eat them alive. You couple that with something like the particle emission torpedo. You fire that, a cloud of plasma just envelops the entire group, and it just fries them right there on the spot. Another torpedo I like, not everybody will use it, many will, but not everybody, is the Delphic distortion torpedo. It fires the most torpedoes on a spread in the game. It's going to do maximum damage. It's going to hurt. Now, on this, I've got the disruptor version of the wide angle Discovery dual beam bank. It's basically designed, and I don't have it on at the moment because, you know, builds are fluid. As a matter of fact, let me make that adjustment as well here. That is going to be with the Lorca console, actually, is usually what it's running with. Or I'll even have maybe the torpedo that goes with it as well, which is also a very good torpedo. There's a lot of different ways to do it as far as it goes. It looks like I'm not seeing it here. Let me make sure. If not, I won't even worry about it. But let's see, Lord, yeah, okay, that's okay. But anyway, with the two-piece, it's definitely a good set here. But keep in mind today with the technical difficulties, things are a little slipshod, and I'll make some adjustments as we go this evening. But when it comes to sets as far as your warp, your shields, your impulse, all of that, the set that came out recently, which I believe everybody here has, the revolutionary set, very good for science. Pardon me. Now, it has the way I like to usually use it is I'll do a two-piece on the shield and the warp, but on this particular case, I've got the two-piece temporal set. This is actually going to be advantageous because it's going to give you more damage with controlled targets. The deflector that we're working with here today is the colony deflector. And now this one, I think, is the other one I use here. There we go. This one is going to be the one that's basically going to work with other traits of the build with hull to increase crit chance and things like that. The secondary deflector, I believe, is going to be from the research lab, all designed to accentuate control EPG. Now, a lot of people, especially when they're newer in the game, think, I got to get my EPG up. I got to get it up. And I've played that game. I've been through the whole gambit of it. EPG at 700, control at 500, 600, But when you're talking on the high end like this, you're using a lot of universal consoles, and even the aft weaponry are designed to play into that. The ultimate Omni is giving you a little bit of crit chance. I'm using here the tractor beam mine launcher just because it's nasty and it's fun. And you've got the proton weapon, which of course plays with the gravimetric. It lets it fire a little more efficiently, and it gives you that two-piece on there. The trait for it, as far as it goes, is going to be in here. Let me just confirm. That is Arsenal Synergy. It's going to give that weapon that proton damage, that crit chance with it, and enables a fire at will to go with it as well for that proton weapon. Basically, it accentuates the build. From there, now the rest is really going to be a matter of preference. I don't always use everything that's going to be the most perfectly optimal. There are some other things that might do more damage, but part of the fun is, well, to put on a show, because when the science is out there doing its thing, everybody knows it, everybody sees it. Some people regret it, resent it, some people admire it. But I'll tell you what, the console I have in my universal slot, is it is upgraded to a tier 6X, is the console from the Science Jellyfish, the Eject Red Matter console. Uh, well, all I can say is you're going to see it as we go. It's just fun. It does a good chunk of damage once you've got that ramped up. Uh, Lord help everybody inside of it, because they're not coming back. Uh, Three consoles that are essentially key, because they are going to be delivering bonus exotic damage. And when you hear the word bonus, your eyes should pop out. Bonus is if we could have one exact bonus damage across the board, we'd all be grinning ear to ear. But these three consoles, the Constriction Anchor has a clicky, which will stop a single target, but 25.3 bonus exotic damage. Yes, please, may I have some more? Yes, as a matter of fact, the Delphic Tear, giving 20% bonus exotic damage, 5% crit severity. That's a combination you don't want to do without. I'm sorry, that's all there is to that. The third one, I believe that's coming from the one of the Disco vessels, the Enterprise there. This is the Auxiliary Ejection Assembly. 19% bonus exotic damage, and it's going to give a little more power to your Ox systems. So these are all essential. Whether you're doing high or low end, this is what's going to give you the kick as far as it goes. Now, these days things have changed in the game. Certain things are a little harder to get a hold of, such as this is the DPRM, especially the Klingon side. But across the board, this ship has had a console everybody's wanted, and it's for obvious reasons. It can be used in a couple of different ways. It can be used as a oh shit button, like go save my life, I want to survive it. Me and myself, with what I have here, I use it as a please make my Gravwell the size of the center of the galaxy's black hole. Basically, I want it to basically ramp up everything, and that's what it's doing. It's giving me the damage resistance. It's giving me a little bit of direct energy damage as well. But it's got that bonus, 40% bonus damage while above 80%, and 100% bonus healing rating, 500 whole regen with that 2-minute recharge. It's handy to have. And bear with me here, and I apologize if I'm going through this a little quickly. And feel free to stop me, anybody here, as we're going, because I do tend to run through this quickly, especially when I'm running late. But after that, this is another console which is nearly pretty much a must in all science builds. This comes from the Lobi ship, the Maquis Raider, the Plasma Storm. If you've all seen that giant tube of freaking fire plasma just burning in space, you can't miss it. It's like a beacon in the night sky. It plays hell with anything caught within it, and it's a perfect accentuating factor to a science build. Another thing, keeping in mind that a lot of the damage that goes through a science build is not quite what people understand, which is why they're usually not eager to get into it. And I'll get into that aspect here in a moment. But this is the multi-target tractor array. Another one's, I think it might be a little harder to get to these days with the changeover. Basically this is just going to give you more control. It's going to give you more of what you're looking for as far as that essential damage in the game. Of course, nothing like this would be complete without a console that gives you the highest PG in the game, and that's going to be the Exotic Particle Field Exciter with 78.8 EPG. It's going to give you shield capacity. It's definitely going to be useful. You can run it without it, but I personally wouldn't. It just really it adds a nice base to it. Now, the first console I'm looking at in tactical, we're looking at the Interphasic Quantic Distributor. It goes with a two-piece with the Delphic Torpedo. Well, it's giving you 19.7 exotic damage. It's giving you that impulse kick at 29.5. And it's going to give you that extra hull penetration as well. Even if you're not running the Lorca console, at least you have a little bit of that to really hit home. Keeping in mind that your EPG abilities are going to pass through shields like they're not there. So, they can have shields to full all they want. It's not going to stop them from succumbing to the gravity of the situation, essentially. Beyond that, we've got something that has a really great function. I've come to actually like it in the game, even though the mechanics a little bugged the visual on it. Enhanced triple cylinder. I believe that's coming from the Vern, also previously the predecessor from it. This will essentially it serves a couple of functions. It's another one of those oh shit buttons there. If you find yourself in a tough spot and you're not going to make it, that's going to take you back in time a bit, heal you up, reset your abilities, and give you a chance to get back into the fight and come back stronger. Or if you find yourself at the lull of your cooldowns and you need to bring back things up and you have a moment to do so, you can hit that. And when you come out of it, you're going to have a lot of your abilities back. And that's just handy in a run. It definitely can save your teammates there. Here today, I've gone ahead and put in the bio-neural infusion circuits just because it's an all-around great Lobby console with the whole capacity and the control expertise. But it's giving you that 28.2 crit severity. It's one of those ones you almost don't want to leave home without it. But like I said, variations are a theme. The next console here, it's kind of become one of my personal favorites simply because, well, I don't think I've ever seen a console that can just get a scream out of Lockhart as high pitched as this one has so many times in a one shot. When we've gone head to head, the cascading subatomic disruptions. Well, you can see the stats. 14.3, 1.9 ox. I mean, it's all right there in front of you, and you can see it. But, as I always tell people, don't believe me, believe the numbers. The proof's in the pudding, my friends. And let me tell you, when you shoot somebody with this thing, at rest right now, it sits at 56,192.8 electrical damage. Ouch. That's really all there is to that. As for the rest, well, one of the ways I like to calibrate myself, my resting gravel, just sitting here, 3606 kinetic, going out to 8.9. Now the distance not as high resting as I used to do, I'll tell you, but when it buffs up, it everybody in the quadrant is going to feel it. Let's look at some numbers though, so you can kind of get an idea of what you're looking at on the high end. Because like I said, it doesn't have to be the 700 EPG and whatnot. It's a little different these days, but you have to be mindful of certain things. Now on this build here, we've got the hull a little over 100k. Hull repair is not something overly special. It does the job. The shield repair rate, well, you hear often shields don't mean much, but with 1800 shield regen, it doesn't hurt, to be honest. I definitely play the shields at a little bit of a higher level because you get your survivability and your damage from many sources, and that's how science builds work. The current accuracy, you don't need with torpedoes and gravel, so it's whatever. But the chance 32.7, basically, as long as you have your crits in a sweet spot, it's hard for science characters and science builds to find that crit chance, especially science characters. And once you get it, you also want to go overboard with it, but you don't want to, like everything else, there's a balance. Usually 25 to 30 is okay. I've got mine a little higher today at 32.7, my crit severity 168.8. You'll see captains with their crit severity over 2-3 freaking hundred. Their chance at 14 million or so. I don't know, like 40, 50, 60, 70. I've seen insane numbers. I really have. But this is for a science build calibrated as a high end like this. This is where you want to be. This is going to essentially get you there. Now, like I said, there are different ways to do things, and I know people who do science at a higher end than even myself, and they'll disagree with some of what I say. It's really all about how we have fun and play the game ourselves. But hopefully, whoever's flying these little things around me is nice enough to make sure that they get some rest before they, get too tired out there.
So, someone in the chat asked, Mirror Cross versus Legendary. Why Mirror Cross versus Legendary Crossfield?
Good question. Absolutely. I have the Legendary Crossfield as well. The first thing is that the Legendary Crossfield has 2 aft weapons. That right off the bat. Also, it doesn't have an experimental weapon. That really hardly matters, to be honest. Experimental. I don't use it. I could if I wanted to, but the precision to kind of go back and forth on it, a little more than I like to get involved. But I could switch it over to tactical mode. I'd lose my Gravwell 3, and I'd gain whatever's in my commander slot here. But with me doing that, no. I'm not doing that. I need that Gravwell. The Gravwell needs me, and everybody on the team needs my Gravwell. So, but in tactical mode, keep in mind, I then have the ability to fire this off. This is a versatile ship. The legendary is a good ship too. Do not get me wrong. If you find yourself with the legendary pack and you've got yourself the legendary crossfield, go out there and do some good damage and have some fun with it. It's just as fun. It's just this is the, as I could say, the creme de la creme of crossfields. It sounds a little, but it is. It's true. It really is. But I've gotten in it and I've done some fun with it. But this one has the stats numbers I really like. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's ask Val. You have the legendary crossfield there, and you fly with it. How does it feel to you? You've seen how mine works in action. What do you notice any differences? Does anything jump out at you as far as it goes?
Well, aside from what you already mentioned with the weapon slots and the ability to change the seating from tactical to science focus, the mode, so to speak, the only other real major difference between them is seating. This has an ensign science versus that has I don't know if it's science or universal. It has an ensign universal versus that is lieutenant universal. And that has a ensign engineering versus has lieutenant engineering. So it
Right.
forces you to use like one extra engineering ability where you could put another science ability in that slot if you had the mirror crossfield. Or
Yeah,
the regular spearhead crossfield for that matter, like
yeah,
Lockhart has.
right. And I have that one as well. And I flew that one for the longest time. And I enjoy it. Basically, if you get yourself into a crossfield, you're gonna have fun, and you're gonna be a valuable asset to your team. Now, of course, like I said, there's different ways to do a build in a crossfield. There's different ways to do a science. You don't have to do it like I do it. You do it the way you have fun. That's the real way that you're an asset to your team. When you're having fun, you care about what you're doing. You're going headlong to the fray, and you're tearing it up. And that's what we do. And that's how it works. These guys can make that happen. And yes, I know it's a little shameless. I turned up the bloom tonight. What are you gonna do? I figured, what the hell? Let's have some bloomies. Let's have some bloominess. It's all right. Now, as far as the remainder goes here, the rest of it is basically, as you would expect. The tactical stats that aren't going to be hugely important because I don't use many of them. The engineering stacks, well, I don't use I'll use a speed boost here and there, and I might switch that up for something else. The speed amounts, it will vary as far as it goes. You'll also use several other kind of boosts. I'll go to my fleet Starbase and I'll get boost for tax sign engineering. I think it's like 10% across the board for each, and that's eminently handy. From there, you're also going to want to make sure that you have your deuterium tanks because you want to make sure you have a little extra speed on there. But you also, it also depends on how you fly. Now, there are some people who will never touch a keybind. They will never touch a macro. They will do it by hand. They will click it all the day long, and anybody who uses anything automatic is doing it. Whatever. It's all good. But I'll tell you what. Whether it be PvE, PvEP, whatever it may be, I know that whatever I'm doing, I don't have to worry about going from here to there to piloting and the whole thing. It's just not for me, to be honest. And that's what it comes down to. It's not for me. I have it set up where I have a macro that's going to take care of the first rows that I need, the first two rows on my left side that's going to go off doing whatever I need to do. That top row is going to be individually based by what I need is rapid or slow. The left side there is going to be as I need it. I have full control. It's like playing a musical instrument. When I get in a TFO or I get in a PvP, I don't need to see anything on that board. I know what's going on, where it's going on. The other person who I'm across or whatever's happening, they can't see what they're clicking. And I don't need to. Advantage me. That's really all there is to it. The power levels, if you as far as it goes. Now, I'm not as fastidious about it as somebody Lockhart, but I keep it still as far as my aux. It's right now it's at 119. It was 130 earlier. I think I made an adjustment to it here, but it'll stay loud as we go. Other than that, you want to keep your engines going up as high as possible, because that's, if you can't be there to get the DPS isn't gotten by you, it's gotten by somebody else. And well, the shields take care of themselves, and the weaponry, well, I have a beam array, but it's not there for the damage. It's just there to kind of look pretty. So, and it does. So, guys, what is your take as far now? To be honest, I've taught a couple of you the craft of science. This is something I've spent a long time studying. When I got into science, it wasn't something that was just out there readily available to be taught. Nobody cared. Science was dog shit. It was tack or it was nothing. Tack or go home. It was just laughed at. And I was like, nope, I'm doing this. I'm going full in. I don't care where it goes, how it goes. And it finally got some love in the game a little while back, to the point where now it's fun, as you can see. I mean, who doesn't show off.
You gave her the perfect angle to do that too.
Yeah, I did. I really did.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I did. Yes, I did. That's, I mean, mwah, beautiful.
It's not a super high end build, so I still have the Lorca's Lorca maneuver console on here, so I can do that.
Heck yeah. It's fun. It absolutely is.
That one's fun just for the look.
Now, Doc, how is your experience? Because, Doc, I've taught you how to do science. Val, I've taught you. Lockhart, or actually, I think I've taught everybody here. But you've all taught me as well. I mean, that's the great thing about being a teacher, is your students teach you so much more. It's been a pleasure to run with every one of these guys. How has your experience with science been as you've gone through it?
My experience with science, anything related to the high end, is basically come from you, especially since I'm a relatively newer player to the game, especially at said high end. I started out just kind of not knowing what I was doing, following. A lot of it came from Voyager, the TV show, with, you think, oh, they talk about that being a science vessel. So you have it in your head, oh, I'll put on phasers and maybe get a grav well or something and, maybe a Tychon's Rift, even though those cooldowns clash. You don't really know what you're doing unless you have somebody to teach you. So I just kind of started like that, fiddling around, and then I ran into one of our mutual friends who was like, hey, let me put together a little something of stuff you can get easily that might balance you out a little more, but hey, go talk to Tomas if you need some more help. So I got that set up, and that kind of, I'm not going to say streamlined, but got me in a direction of what a science build's actually supposed to be. And then I came and talked to you, and you were just like, okay, show me what you got. Oh, God. And then just tore my ship apart and smooshed it back together. And I have just been kicking butt ever since.
I love teaching. I'll tell you what, though, it doesn't always go smoothly. When I first met Lockhart, it was a little bit of a different scenario, because he kind of saw it differently. Lockhart,
Yes.
how was your experience as far as it goes into the fray of science? Because let's be honest, it's not exactly what you run on the average daily. It's more of it's a rarer kind of run for you. But talk to me a little bit about that.
I mean, I started doing a lot of science and working on the crossfield and stuff. The problem is that at the same time, I was also working on a lot of beam stuff.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it really just came down to sort of where I wanted my skill tree to be, because you can either have it spec'd out really well for a beam build or have it spec'd out really well for a science build, but it's really hard to get both of them.
True enough. But I'll tell you what, he may not main science every day, but when he puts a beam on a starship, look over your shoulder, because he may be coming for you. And this build is no less different. It's definitely got his flavor of power levels, that's for sure, and it hurts just as much. It's always a pleasure. Now, Aura.
I heard the sigh.
You, mister, are, well, I mean, I think your class of ship pretty much says a great deal about it. You're not doing the conventional. You're not doing the regular.
Oh, this is strictly an energy boat. Like, I don't have a science on this character that.
And thank God. because what you do with panache, to say the least, and it hurts usually too. So it's it's never a bad thing to, when you're taking a science crew out, to have a bruiser with you, and aura bruises everybody rather well.
Whether it be beams or cannons, I'm usually the go-to guy for energy builds. So
God, you maniac, you! Jeez, I swear to God, he whenever I go into a TFO with him, I know that I'm gonna have a proud second, because whew, he can put a build together. My God. Well, I'll tell you what. I think at this point we have kind of gone over the basics of it. Let's show off what we can do a little bit for the audience. We made them a little bit longer than usual tonight. I'm thinking a TFO, unless anybody has any other suggestions on the matter. Something with, well, I mean, I know there's one TFO. The looks of us change, but the effects are there. But I'll follow as the group thinks tonight, as far as it goes.
oh boy, in terms of TFOs,
Doing that bitch Lita.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I if you want science TFOs, I have
sure, why not?
two
Let's do counterpoint.
top
Yep,
of my
all right, very
head.
good. Very
That's
good
one
then.
of them.
Or would you set us up, good sir?
Okay, 1 second.
Thank you, sir.
Apparently we're all in a TFO group except for Val.
We're all in the team, yeah. Oh, see, but he could just add a third one to that list, so that's 3 science TFOs right on the top of my head. They're also...
I can't invite people.
That's because
Thomas
Tom's
is
the
team
leader.
Okay, you
Yeah,
know what? Let me
invited
transfer
now,
that
yeah.
here. No problem. One moment here. Okay, so that's going to be... Okay, so are we on... Okay, actually, for some reason it's not gonna let me.
I
Here, go ahead
love...
and we can just reset it.
No, Doc's lead. Doc's lead. Wait,
Oh,
wait,
you
wait.
Wait, what?
Okay, well,
He is lead. He is lead.
okay.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah,
works.
go for it. It's all good.
Counterpoint
Recharge it.
advanced.
If you do it on elite, the failure... Well, we could do it. The failure point's a little high. It's not like we're going to, go into a core fez with just with 4 people.
with four people, yeah. Yeah. Wouldn't do that to you, would I?
No, who would do... who would a friend do that to you?
Mm.
Just say I'm not super confident in mine, so let's do advanced.
Oh, absolutely. Advanced is it's absolutely going to be. I think sometimes Val underestimates her skills on that. I don't. But
There's
nonetheless,
I
a
know-
brand new
I know
ship
this-
that's itching to fire some guns.
yeah.
I know this build will pull 170 in an ISE, but it's still one of those.
Oh no, only
I
one.
want to tinker with it a little.
Goodness, I might have instilled a little bit of ambition in some of my students, because there are people who, well, let's just say 170 is not a number to scoff at. Val,
No.
honestly.
170, you're well into the low high end. Well.
There was a day when 170 was a pipe dream that was never to be reached. So bravo, as far as it goes. You'll only get better.
I got the bloodlust.
Yeah, I know it. God, I know it.
We will get you up there. Also, can I point out real quick before we hop in? Except for Lockhart and his shiny platinum glory, it looks like a meeting of the Section 31s in here. Except for Lockhart's shiny platinum behind.
Speak of the devil, I'm not your typical inventions.
This is his interview to get the dark skin.
my
There
God.
we go. There
Oh
we
my
go.
That's just.
So, Lockhart, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Or better yet, where do you see your crossfield in 5 years? Or maybe 500, the way crossfields like to go.
Well, it happens. It does. It does. He's like, what?
Yeah, I got nothing.
You got nothing.
He got none.
You got nothing. This is probably not.
All
It's this is actually gonna look hilarious.
Yeah.
Well,
Somebody
let you know.
screenshot or clip that, please. It looks beautiful.
I can't argue with you there.
Oh, man. Okay.
Anyways,
I am hitting the button if anybody is not opposed.
I think we can dig it.
All right. 3, 2, 1. And away we go.
Yeah.
Science!
S9 to all Alliance ships.
And yes, I put cannons on a vengeance.
Why does that not surprise me in the slightest? That does not surprise me in the slightest, Dora.
Ooh, yeah.
Hey! This isn't as laggy as last week. Sweet!
Not at all, right? It's actually pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Were there bad guys here?
All I did was throw up a plasma storm and it absorbed nothing.
Well, my.
But yeah, for folks who
all-
watched my version of last week's stream, you know the pain I was undergoing.
Yeah.
Also, wow, that's a lot of grav wells. Oh my gosh.
Isn't it though? Good lord.
4, 5 I counted at one time.
Time for some more death and destruction.
Yep. I'm sorry, I think I saw a red dot there.
No. Oh. Beautiful. Ooh.
Now that's a lot of damage.
Just a bit.
Kablooey. It's dead.
It better be. Any survivors is coming out of your pay.
I don't get paid anyway, the points are free.
Oh, right, I forgot.
I pay to get the points. It works backwards of that.
Oh, that's right. You're paying for the pleasure of Starfleet. Okay, gotcha. Oh, hello. Goodbye.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you an enemy? Bye-bye.
You didn't want to live, did you? Okay, thank you. Enjoy your death.
Have a nice, peaceful stay in whatever Stovo-Core you believe in.
No. Get to your Coco Duff. Oh, I love that. And good night. Oh, well, that's just not fair.
It's really not.
Oof, man.
It's all
I'm
dead.
just a bit.
Well, in fairness, Aaron, that's kind of our job.
It's what we get paid for, or what some of us get paid for.
What some of us would like to get paid for. I'd love this to be my job.
You know, I could definitely go to work every day, and as long as
Right?
Gloria.
Go to work every day in honor of science.
Yeah, I think Newton would be proud.
Oy. That's temporal destroyer just like completely lagged out my power. That was painful.
I see a meatball in space. Alright.
Bahika. Let's just say there are warnings on products because somewhere someone was dumb enough to do what the warning says not to do involving science.
Directly into the grab well, or the other 18 anomalies, which I am going to spray upon you.
Uh-huh. Bye-bye.
Excuse me, may I have a word? Have you met your deaths? Here.
Oh gosh, that one was dead before he got to the grav well. That's adorable.
Oh, I love it when they die before they even get in there. That's just so wrong.
That you can just see him sliding over and dying at the same time.
Good night.
It's me, Terran friend. Have you heard of our Lord and Savior Newton?
No, no way. Oh, blasphemy. I love it.
And now
All right.
comes the fun part. We get to kick a certain cranky admiral's behind.
Well, you know, she had it coming.
Yeah.
It wasn't much makeup.
She's gonna be stubborn and she's still gonna get sent home packing.
Just a bit.
We're gonna scare her straight out of those thigh-high boots.
Ooh, damn. Well.
To the Terran Empire.
Yeah, don't you love how those cells just light right up? I mean, it's just a thing of beauty. Let's get positioned, shall we?
Oh gosh.
Let's first of all help DS9. Excuse me.
Whoa!
Thank you.
Something
stand there for a
just
while?
nuked me like heck. Wow.
Oh, it happened. Dang.
Wow.
Okay. Well, we'll remember you fondly.
No, I'm alive. Just thank
Yeah.
continuity.
Yes, continuity's a thing.
Yeah. Also, if
Well,
you're running
for
science,
adaptation.
please run temp ops for continuity. I'll love you forever.
Temp op strategy, because dying the first time is bad enough, but the second time hurts.
Make repairs.
Yeah. Right?
Repairs complete. We're taking too much damage. Deploy
Really though,
defensive
something
countermeasures.
critted me by DS9 for like 100k. That was
Probably
crazy.
a photon spread from Tarok.
Yeah, it hurts. If you're not expecting it.
I was 14 kilometers out of range.
Deploy
Oh,
defensive
well, then,
countermeasures.
apparently you pissed off one of the mad scientists of the Terran Empire, because... ow.
Evidently, the wannabes of the world who want what I have.
We're taking too much damage. Deploy defensive countermeasures.
Do you want to touch it? Do you want to touch it?
Repairs complete.
All right.
I mean,
and already down to 49 point some odd 2%. I mean, that's just, oh, good lord. God, I love it. Oh, there's a black hole for you. Made of red matter. Everybody in ops is just sinking into it directly.
Too much damage. Deploy defensive countermeasures.
that's fair, Bahika, although that can also work in stow for science, considering how many times I've killed myself.
Oh, it happens every now and again.
Taking too much damage.
Yeah, Dorothy's
Deploy
about to
defensive
kill.
countermeasures.
Some little dog, too.
We've conquered everyone else. Make
Oh my god, okay.
repairs complete.
Devil Dog's got away with the words, I say.
Well, that went down fast.
Countermeasures.
Well, ow, I think is how they
Did
described that. when they
did
got
she
there.
even repair?
Repairs complete.
I don't care. I wanted to feel that pain. Oof.
We're taking too much
And a little back step. Let's just recharge some of that.
Oh gosh, to me, she just had 4 voice clips go at the same time.
Make repairs.
That was embarrassing.
Repairs complete.
It really was. Like, you need a script there, bud?
Taking too much damage.
Ooh. I think I see a station in that light somewhere.
Right?
Oy. Make some repairs, girl.
We're
Hi,
taking
bye.
damage. Defensive countermeasures.
Oh, Lord. It's just, I mean, it's like a yellow brick road just rising out of it.
And this, folks, is why we love our job.
Damage. Deploy
A little bit.
defensive
Yeah,
countermeasures.
just a bit. Have some buffs. And, but ow.
Well, blam.
We're taking
The great thing about science is you know,
Deploy defensive
when you're running a build anywhere remote like this, on the battlefield, you are going to be the one who directs the battle. You're going to say where the battle is, where everybody's going to have to go to fight. They kind of have to play to your tune by it, because if they want to do any damage, you're going to be where it's at.
Deploy defensive
Uh,
countermeasures.
Keep in mind, however, should you happen to employ something along the lines of a delayed overload cascade, the rules of combat are going to change, and some might get a little annoyed with you because, let's face it, people who run cannons rely on that clear shot. Well, if they wanted a clear shot, they should have run them science. Sorry, nothing but love for you. Nothing but love for you. Locke, you know you're my man. But as that's, you know, I've pissed off a few people with it. Precision is the order of the day, by all means. You need to have a ground wall that is strong enough to pull them back in when you fling them halfway across a sector.
I need back out of combat. My roster didn't get updated like I thought it did.
Oh no!
What, your doffs?
Man.
Yep, don't have my technicians on.
Oh, that will cut into it. It's all right.
That's fine. We got her held.
Zero.
She,
Overload cascade, you know it.
she ain't going anywhere.
No, literally, we've kind of got control of the situation
A little bit, yeah.
by several hundred points. But no, that delayed overload cascade is going to be one of your heaviest hitters. Now, keep in mind, on a science build like this, you know you're doing things right when you go into something like an ISE. And when you parse it, your highest hitting thing on the parse is going to be the next thing I'm going to talk about. It's one of the things that makes science kind of special compared to other builds.
We're taking too
in other builds like cannon, beam, you're looking for, what did my cannon do? What did my beam do? What did my torpedoes do? Whatever the case may be. You're looking to see, what it did. The science build, it's going to be your secondary deflector where your main damage is going to come from. And to a lot of people, secondary deflectors are confusing because they don't lend themselves to the ease of understanding like a phaser or a torpedo would. When we're done with this, we'll go further into it and we'll kind of go through it. It kind of makes it special. 24.1%.
But Bahika, I'm not gonna lie. Our current record for getting her down is at like 7.4%.
7%. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is nothing. This is us just chilling.
Yeah, this is us just screwing around. To be honest, this is a demonstration. It's a light show. When let's just say when it's
Fully
concentrated, you're not going to hear us talking.
Yeah.
Deploy defensive countermeasures.
When you hear Asai talking, Asai's not worried. When you hear Asai talking, he's probably not taking the situation seriously for whatever reason. But when Asai shuts up, be worried.
Yeah. I'm just sitting here pressing my normal buttons.
Caster, my coolants are all out of whack.
Oh, we'll have another chance to get it rolling for you, man. We'll show that off. It's all good. It's just Terok Nor. I mean, they're already hiding from you anyway half the time. It's not like,
This is entirely too true.
Now, keep in mind, while science is my game, I have been recently trying to branch out some things in life. Because, after a while, you want to be useful to a team in more than one way. So I have started dipping toes into, like, beam builds, things like that, overload, like beam overload builds. Had some success. Honestly, though, the most of the success came in the PvP arena for some odd reason. It's kind of fun, and we might show some of it off. I think we did a little bit last week. I think we did a 3-on-1, I believe it was, and it was it was fun. I got my ass handed to me, but it was fun. And sometimes dying is almost as fun as letting everything around you die. Oh, by the way, did anybody see if Terok Nor was okay? I kind of...
Oh, sure they will. Reinforcements, shmee-enforcements.
Boom! Oh, my God.
And kabloomo! That's how you do delayed overload.
That had to hurt. Just a bit.
It did.
Lita's going to need a new pair of boots. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And thank you and good night.
That's how you run a science counterpoint, people. That was fun. Man.
There were no survivors.
No. That last group just got annihilated.
Good job, guys. Good game, good game.
Mm-hmm. Good job, everybody.
Indeed. Final score, a whole lot to a whole lot less.
100 bajillion to 2.
Warping out now. God, I love it.
You love to see it.
PTSD from fireworks.
Ah! Yeah, that's the entire reason you have fireworks on the hotbar, just to have that be the trigger to remembering all the times we beat her.
Kind of hilarious, to be honest. I mean, it's and also in a PvP match, it has been known to misdirect a person here and there. Now, real quick, before we do anything else, I'm just going to talk about the secondary deflector, and actually, I'm going to hand it off to some of my colleagues here to kind of go over their line of thinking on things. But basically, one of the misconceptions on a science build is it's all your gravel, it's all your weapons, your torps, phase, whatever you're using. But when you're doing it like this, it's your secondary deflector. There is a tremendous amount of power flowing through that, and you're proccing it with everything that you can fit on a build. For instance, on something like this, it's also using temp opposite abilities as well. That doesn't hurt either. But as far as it goes, I do believe here things like your tachyon beam. I do believe other abilities. I don't have them all slotted at the moment. Like I said, it's more of a show-off build. And we'll go over that as we go on tonight. But basically, abilities that will proc that secondary deflector are going to get amplified tremendously. And some of them have, especially the ones that have that shortest cooldown. You want those going off as fast as possible all the time. every time the like that won't actually, for instance, what I have here, what I just showed, it won't do that damage per se directly, but as it flows through that secondary deflector, it's just ramping it up. It is just beautiful. It'll fluctuate. I mean, keep in mind when you're looking at a parson, your anomalies, like your plasma storm when it shows up as pets, you kind of go, but it's almost apt. If my plasma storm wants to be a pet, so be it, as long as it kills just as efficiently. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to shut up for a few. I'm going to give the perspective over here, and let you guys kind of have it for a moment here. Whoever wants to talk to us a little bit about what you're looking at, and we'll go into another TFO here in a couple minutes, and we'll tear out some more Galaxy. Or I could choose one. And if basically, as far as it goes, as far as your personal experience about how you feel the damage go through, because we all know damage can be a little deception. There's a deceptive factor in the game. You can be doing really well or think you're doing very well, but if there are certain factors on your build that aren't correct, that's not going to be the case. Lockhart, do you experience that going back and forth from a side build to attack build? How comfortable are you with the switch, and how does it work when you're running through it?
I mean, as far as switching between things, I don't tend to have too much of a problem. Like, obviously, I fly like my Inquiry class different from this ship, but after a TFO or two, I'll get pretty into the pattern, and since I have a bar setup that makes some amount of sense, I can usually just hop in it and start flying. And since I have that power level thing I'm still figuring out, it's always convenient. Like right now, my aux power is at 130 out of 100, and my beam power is still at 103 out of 70. So it used to be hard, but I guess it's gotten easier over time, the more I've branched out with other builds.
Right on. What would you say is the thing that you're most trying to get a hold of as far as items for your science build? That elusive thing that you want to just be the cherry on top of it.
I guess the Space Tornado, the console off the Maki Raider that you talked about earlier, that or the red matter ejection console from the Jellyfish.
Very fun. It also comes with that quad torpedo, which you would, I know you won that one pretty well, but the damage on it in there, but it puts on hell of a show.
I'm sure.
Doc, what about you?
About what? What am I flying, or?
Well, as far as how it feels out when you're out there, what do you still have something that you're chasing to make the build perfect for yourself?
Oddly enough, for this particular build, which, like you, I kind of consider the Mirror Cross Field the big, fat, flagship style build, really? Other than maybe switching out the dual beam bank for the Disruptor variant for the debuff, maybe getting a better experimental weapon, I am finally mostly finished for this build, other than some odds and ends and testing stuff and just fun gear, so to speak.
So you're talking about that secondary or that experimental weapon. Are you trying to experiment with using that in your build as far as it goes in battle?
I might eventually. I haven't really worried about it thus far because it's just getting to that base damage point, if you know what I mean.
Right.
But I need one better on this tune anyway. Something I would like to hear your opinion on was somebody in the comments mentioned that since we talked about how the Mirror Crossfield has this 4-3 setup with the whole tactical mode situation, would the Titan or the Fleet Titan be a decent substitute for it to start growing into, to a degree?
Absolutely. The second I got into it, the first thing I thought was mirror crossfield. It's almost like a budget mirror crossfield, being a promo ship through crossfield. It's set the same way. It's got the same kind of layout. It's got the same thought process going through it. When you're getting in that, it's basically like a smaller version of it that packs just as good a punch when done properly. It is a fun ship, and it's beautiful as hell. I mean, it was a great addition to the game. And I think it really brought science to more of the player base. It's definitely a lot of fun to fly. I haven't pulled that out in a little while because it's when you, to be honest, I have a lot of different science ships, and I try to run them a little bit here and there whenever I can, because it's good to keep the feeling for them, because they all have their charm. One of the great ones along with that one is the ship you can get from the colony. That is basically almost a dream to fly as well, because it's got all universal seating, temporal, and it's a nasty little thing. I've seen one of those things, and I've flown as well and done a couple records in them. They're very fun as well. I mean, it's all about what you have fun in. But to be honest, when you're talking about doing absolute science destruction in the game, there's really only kind of one ship that you're going to think of. That's essentially going to be the Vern. This is science, sex, and destruction just happening all at the same time. This thing is basically the pinnacle of science thought. It embodies everything that you could really ever ask for in a science ship. Temporal seating. It is maneuverable. The hull's a little less substantial in most cases, but you don't even need weapons on one of these things, to be honest. If you do have weapons, they're an afterthought. People do pure science builds. Even my friend Timberwolf has demonstrated a pure science build with not a weapon on it. But then again, he's also done a build with no shields either. But he's kind of crazy like that. But that's why we love him. But when I take this ship into a TFO, literally people go, "Oh God, he means business." And yeah, I mean, it looks like a NASA shuttlecraft just went to the future, got transformed through some kind of liquid metal transformation, and just got formed into this science god of destruction. I love this ship. It is fun to move around in. From there, it's hard to go up from a ship like this. Well, I'll always go back to my crossfield. This is this one moves. I'll tell you what. I mean,
I'd summarize the Vern as the ship you can set a record in where your weapons are literally just the debuff.
Yeah, that's essentially the case, because this thing right here, let me tell you, I mean, just the way it moves and the way it can get around, it is it's going to be hard to keep up with, and it's going to be hard to catch. It definitely, when you're going to get to the DPS first, and that is half the game in this game. If you can get there first, you're going to get it. If you're second, you're not. That's really pretty much what it comes down to, and that's what this thing is designed to do. It's designed to get it and get it good. So at this point, let's show it. Now at this point, now Doc, I know you have one of these, but you haven't set her up yet. We're going to have to work on that for you here soon, because I'll tell you what, I think I instilled Doc with a little bit too much love for his mirror crossfield, because it's hard to get him out of the damn thing.
I mean, to be fair, it's nigh impossible to get you out of the damn thing.
Yeah. For a minute, I see. The thing about it is it's always about the build. A lot of people say, and even I've said that. It usually doesn't matter what ship you're in. It's the build you put on it that shows the performance. But when you're talking about the Vern and the crossfield, they will just bring you back and forth. It's there goes Zora again. Whew, I'm telling you.
And they're two it's like having two completely different flavors of cookies, but both are your favorite ever.
Yeah, I mean, chocolate chunk, chocolate chip. I mean, it's
Because they
Don't make 'em
they
choose.
feel so different.
yeah, they honestly do.
But yeah, I'll put it this way: if the crossfield was set up the way the Vern is, you would have to pry it out of my cold, dead fingers.
No, if I will admit it, if they took that tack section on the crossfield, the seating on the box seating, and turned it into something more like the Vern, it would not be fair. It really wouldn't.
It really wouldn't. It
wouldn't be.
really wouldn't.
But I'll tell you what. Let's not talk about it. Let's show these in action one more time. There. Let's set up another one.
All right.
Dealer's choice. Now the Vern, I believe, was I want to say a promo ship, if I'm not mistaken, before it got moved to the Muds Market.
It is Lockbox. It's
Lockbox.
still Lockbox, however, you can
Okay.
get it account unlock like I did from Muds Market.
Yeah, I have to admit, I bought it first when it was available just in the box, and then when it came in the Muds Market, yeah, I kind of said shut up and take my money because account
Yeah.
unlock. Yes, please. I mean,
All right, Tom, I need you to accept the TFO invite,
you got
please
it,
and
man.
thank you.
You got it.
And then I'm going to
Yep.
give you a choice of two
Oh my God,
excellent
I-
science TFOs.
Oh goody. Okay, do her up then. What do we got?
Would you prefer Days of Doom or Battle at the Binary Stars?
Depending on what you choose, I might need to switch.
Well, the only problem with
Alright,
Battle of the
yeah.
Binary Stars is you lose the sexy, but you see the result. Let's do Battle of the Binary Stars.
Wait.
Yeah, give me a
Wait,
second.
timeline change imminent.
Hold. Here, let's see.
Hold.
Do I need to make any adjustments to this girl? Let's see.
We'll put it this way, folks. You're not going to see much except 1 second there will be Klingons, and the next second there will not be said Klingons.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah,
And you're not going to see an ounce of what we're doing, but they're all going to die.
Well, like I tell people, it's seeing is overrated.
Right? In science, that should be a motto for science characters. Seeing is overrated.
I believe it's on the plaque of my ship, which I actually recently got an opportunity to see not only from the inside, but accidentally from the outside. But that's a different story.
Tom, you're
That's
going to
good
be a
combo.
proud
Oh.
papa. You have another new science lover in the chat.
And
You
that
know-
crashed.
You okay there?
I crashed.
Oh no!
Oh.
Well, we'll stand by for you, man. We'll stand by for you. It's okay. I'll tell you. Well, Devil Dog, come and talk to me, and I'll hurt your brain. But in the end, you'll hurt other brains, much harder down the line. So always a pleasure, and you're always welcome. You know that. We love having you around. Thanks to everybody for tuning in tonight and tolerating us here with these technical difficulties. Well, like McCoy said, engineers, they love to change things. Apparently Windows does too, and so does OS apparently, because one thing isn't the same from one day to the next, and it keeps people on their toes. So thankfully, we usually win out in the end, even if it takes a little while. You all right there, Locke?
Yeah, I'm back. Let me just put
Rock
the-
on, man. Rock on, man.
Poor Devil Dog. The two ships he wants tonight are the two that are promos.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Tune in next week because Locke and I both favor the science realm of life. We decided to split it up. This week we're showing the high end. Next week we're going to show.
What you mean, Doc?
Did I? You know what? It's been that kind of day. Doc, my apologies. We definitely like the science life as far as it goes. He's going to show the more budget side of life. Next
Yes,
week.
I shall be showing a bit more of the budget and directed energy weapons side of science, which is it's not so much different, just so much not so many people look at that side of how to think on it.
Yeah, and this month has definitely been a spending month. Okay, good deal. Now, I'll tell you, because I've been setting this up for so long, it was a little easier previously to kind of do the kind of build I have now. With the way things have changed since the walls for the factions have come down, It is most assuredly a more expensive build, and I'm not even going to lie. I set one of my Armada leaders up with this build. He wanted it. He saw it. He wanted it, and that's all there is to it. Amount of taste he is, and the amount of EC that he spent, it made my heart go flutter. I'll tell you that. I think if I were coming into the game at this point, it would give me pause. At this point, if you're going to do something like this, you really got to want it, and disposable income is not going to hurt either.
I'm just gonna say I'm glad I came in last year and not this year, or I'd never be able to do this.
Yeah,
I literally got my Mirror Crossfield just in the nick of time.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, and then the tax deductions. Yeah, no. Unfortunately, Starfleet doesn't have any tax deductions when it comes to science ships. It's well, let's just say TurboTax just can't cover it.
It's the Alpha Quadrant with Ferengi. There's not tax deductions. There's tax. There's oh god, what's the word? There's tax inflation.
More. God, yeah. And not the kind that you enjoy with Umox. It's a whole other kind.
The galaxy is run by Ferengi and Dabo.
And I think the Ferengi owns at least most of the souls that surround us at this point. But at least he's a benevolent Ferengi, for the most part.
Blade, welcome in, buddy.
Oh my god, it's a Ferengi. God.
Speaking of the devil.
Good to see you. I quit rubbing your ears. You're in public, sir. Man, I tell you what. We all have that one friend that can make anything sound well. Yeah, that's him right there. Yeah, but it's always fun, so we can't complain.
I mean, Devil Dog, we do love viewers.
No, I'm sorry. Did I say I meant well, he needs things to make him go. Pathways are always looking for the next best thing, and yeah.
Wait. There was a Packlid party and I wasn't invited? Also, how dangerous do you want to be today, Tom?
Oh god, what are you talking about?
Well, we're doing Battle of the Binary Stars. Do you remember what I did last time I set it up accidentally?
I'm not going to say anything, my friend. Whatever you do is on you, just like it is on the poor fool who takes 4 men into Corfez, especially when one Ferengi bows out. But that's
hey, at least we would have 5 if I did that, and it wouldn't be Corfez.
Thank God. Yikes.
Cough. Somebody in the room, cough.
Hit the button, man. Hit that button.
Warp me.
I love it. Oh, no.
Also, props if anybody understood my reference about Packlids earlier. You watch great TV.
And a 5, 6, 7, 8.
Bump. I'm just missing a trombone.
You know, honestly. Thank God. I've heard him play, guys.
I don't play trombone, though.
I'm not getting it with you. I'm just not getting it with you.
I could sing like a Ferengi instead.
Oh, that's right. I did that. Oh. Yeah, I did that. Why? I because I can. I'm crazy. Sorry.
Yeah, we already knew that.
Yeah, it's just yeah. Thank you, Blade.
Blade, this is a PG-13 stream.
Says the hell who? You know how many lives have been lost since this started? This is rated something I can't even name anymore.
YouTube?
Hooray. I was not put into the Hoover.
Oh, who's getting the Hoover? Oh,
I have the Hoover. But I don't mind. I actually like the look of the Hoover. Not gonna lie.
You take that back.
Right?
I will not take it back. People are gonna see what the hell I'm gonna do with this damn Hoover. We gonna sweep up them Klingons, man.
Boy, it's gonna work out pretty well there. I'll tell you. It's
He censored it mostly. Ha ha ha.
No. Just Science After Dark is really just. Let's put it this way: when my ship leaves space dock, it's a war crime.
All right.
That goes for most people who do like this. Let's do this.
Let's rock and roll.
And proof
Maybe rolling a rock.
That now, as always, we come in peace.
Goodbye.
Helm, evasive maneuver 7 Alpha.
And charge!
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Oh, it's not even fair. It's not even fair. Not even fair, people.
They're dead.
Oh, God. That's... Oh, my lord. That gravel's at about 9,000 at this point. I think I've gotten it to about 11-ish, give or take. It hurts the heart and the head. And most everything else in between.
It really just isn't even fair.
No, not really. No. Ooh.
With the amount of cannon fire going in there.
Yeah, it's a symphony of death, destruction, and just hilarity.
And that, my friends, is how you complete a battle at the Binary Stars.
By making the battle not even a battle. It's more of a massacre of the Binary Stars with a little bit of, well, tragedy mixed in for these poor... At least... Wow, that was a large crit. Every now and again that happens and I just kind of go, whoa. Oh, okay.
The
Anyway.
Empress Georgia would be proud.
Yes, but she'd probably be fighting to keep up because let's face it, the Terran Empire ain't got nothing on this, and the Klingons
What?
are just like, what?
Did you just say Michelle Yeoh would be fighting to keep up? You take that back.
She would.
She would not.
Well, she does fly around with a ship with a sun for a warp course. Yeah, I guess I see your point, but yeah, no.
This is the woman who literally, let's just say she's survived a lot, people.
Yeah, including some some continuity rewriting, but yeah, that's beside the point.
Yeah, that's what I was going for, but I was
Yeah.
keeping the shushy. You'll find out
You
if you
crawl out
watch
of this.
Discovery Season 3 if you manage to make it past the stream today. That's a big if.
Oh my lord.
The
I love
pure
that
destruction.
Blue, just look at the blue rings. Just, oh, spore-infused anomalies. Just feeding off of every anomaly in the area.
Don't you
I
just
have-
love how a Klingon spawns in and then vacuums to the middle?
Yeah, there's a lot of Klingon dust in the system today.
Mm.
Molecules, if you were. Bouncing off of the deflector as it flies through the system. It's...
Well, you know, that's why I have the Hoover. I'm here to suck you uppy.
Soval Core is really busy today.
It
They're gonna need some
really
extra
is.
chairs.
And poor Fecklar's probably like, where did all these idiots come from?
Eh.
Paying for this. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that we can make it very cold in space every now and again. And space is already cold, but, you know,
Right?
it's just it has to hurt. Oh.
It really does.
Devil Dog, you are a poet, a scholar, and a gentleman. A little bit of a sucker, but, you know, still, you could not be more right. I'll tell you what, though. No, not as I will. I'll tell you what, though. If Newton knew anything that we were doing, he would probably be rolling over in his fracking grave. You know, probably because of the gravel I just threw, but...
There's reasons it's a video game.
God, could you really imagine the amount of power running through these fracking ships, for God's sakes?
I don't know how we don't explore explode the warp cores on these things. Like, the warranty's gotta be
Yeah.
toast.
Oh, no, the warranty just pretty much expires as soon as you fire up the core. I mean,
Right?
oof, man. Oh. Okay.
Really, we destroy all those ships and the Jaeger and the Clark still manage to be disabled.
Well, they suck.
God. For
Oh, that's
shame.
simulation.
Are there only 4 of us here?
No, there are 5.
Yeah, okay.
There are 4 lights!
4 lights and 4 blah, blah, blah. Okay.
And kablooey!
I'll speed up the shuttles.
Hee hee hee!
I'll keep them rallied. And then unrallied, and rallied again.
Science!
Please. So when your kid asks for a science kit for his birthday or for Christmas, you don't have to get him the train set. Let him watch a little Hawking. Let him check out a little Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's good for the brain. It doesn't have to be a reality TV show. It could actually have some substance to it. And you know what? Whatever gets him interested, whether it be pretty lights or the fact that stars are giant balls in space lit fire that burn for millions of years. Either way, it's beautiful.
All we're gonna say is if you're gonna teach him stow science, you'd better have a big budget.
So,
Yeah, well,
Side
luck on your
note,
purse.
I do want to point out that you talking about watching like Neil deGrasse Tyson stuff reminded me of like Bill Nye, and I just got a great idea for an alt name. Make a Trill. His name is Trill Nye, and they do science.
God, I love it. That's great.
Ha! Trill Nye the science guy.
Oh my lord. And of course, my hero Carl Sagan, who loved the universe and the mysteries in it. It almost in a small way, realistically, the game kind of gives you some of that, and that, you know what, you get to unlock a lot of fun things and see what the universe could do if it were ramped up to the nth silly degree beyond all reason. And why not? It's a game.
Oh no, we broke Blade. Trill Nye the science guy. Trill.
Oh my god. Well, congratulations. You did it once again there, Val. I doff my hat.
Oh gosh, so much speed! So much speed! Ah!
One shuttle, we're done.
I accidentally hit my 2 button, which shot me forward at like 100 kilometers a second.
Be careful, that impulse throttle's a little sticky.
Attention, Klingon leader.
Ooh. Okay.
Well, that's dead, and that's dead, and there's his cousin over there.
That piece of him, yeah.
Bye, Uncle Louis Bucktog.
Bucktog?
Yes, Uncle Louis Bucktog.
Ooh. Yowza. Oh, I don't know, Blade. If you can beat another Stowe streamer I know who likes to rap, we should have a rap off and see, because that would be something to see. Because I'll tell you what, our Mr. Blade can tank like we sigh.
Yeah. He's disturbing. He's literally so good at it, he has a style of tanking named after him.
Yeah. I don't think I want a style of science named after me, because there's too many deaths involved tonight.
I just thought of a terrible joke.
Oh?
Oh no! The fact I heard the stutter in your voice means it's bad.
Yeah, that always.
I'm not sharing it on stream. I just thought of something.
Oh god,
Oh,
that
no.
good. Oh hell.
Oh gosh. Klingons! I forgot there was round 2!
Yeah, it's but it won't trust me, it won't be long. They'll go to sleep.
No, I just forgot to put all my powers on cooldown with temporal backstep.
Dude, it's never too late. Backstep that thing. Backstep it all the way up.
Dude, what's mine say? Wait, what's mine say?
Yo, dude, what's up, man? Totally
and our science
cool.
lost some IQ. All right, well it happens. You can't keep it up forever.
You're the one who said,
We-
dude.
Me-
I invented the word.
No one else here seen Dude, Where's My Car?
I invented the word dude a few hundred years early, man. I bought a tank for my fish.
That's what she said. Oh, sorry, I was just reading what Blade was talking about there.
I was gonna say, what does fish have to do with that? My gosh, that's a Blade move to relate.
With all the lights, my brain is just kind of starting to cook.
What, are there 5 now?
Mine's-
Thank you so much for the follow.
Yes, Blade, we know. Bless. Bless.
That's your pea picking hot.
Bless his little heart.
Well, like McCoy said, treat her like a lady. She'll always take you home. Now, Blade, on the other hand, just watch your purse.
God.
Or how could you? God.
How could he what? He killed
How do you say
everything.
that?
What?
I don't even know. There's so many lights. They're pretty.
Your most remote borders.
God.
I
Nice job, people.
Holy shnikes.
That's
I
how
really
you...
ruined Takufma's day. I hit the sarcophagus with the mycelial Death Star.
The other thing is, I think he thinks he still won. Poor deluded big tooth fool.
That's how you kick butt at the Battle of the Binary Stars. Science.
Or as I like to say, Candygram for Mongo. Candygram for Mongo.
Wait, before you go out, go to how do we do? You need to see something.
How did we do? Oh, good lord.
Oh.
Yeah, you see what I saw, right?
Did an extra shuttle just appear? Why did we rescue more than there were?
Because Aura and I both tractor beamed the last shuttle, so it counted as 2.
Oh, damn.
Suck it. No Ash Tyler for you today, Klingons.
Yeah, right?
Curious thing, the last time we did an elite run of this, we got like 86 out of 70 shuttles.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's, yeah. We, by the way, science breaks maps.
Yeah, get used to that. It does it with ground too.
Oh God. Oh yeah. Jeez.
Oh gosh, yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Blade is a Ferengi, and then there's new tanking, old tanky, mid tanking, and then there's the Dark Blade. That makes so much sense.
Well, Devil Dog, somebody, we had a little bit of a free streaming going on over the weekend, and we like to support each other. We're there for each other. We're friends, right? And we got done with a run, and one of us seems to, well, one of us is really fond of it for Battle Corfez. The problem is though, when one of your teammates decide they really don't feel like going, and the team leader decides you're all going anyway.
Because somebody didn't leave the TFO group.
Yeah, somebody just decided to just bounce out and let it happen anyway. But that's hey, it goes that way. But let's just put it this way: I don't care what you bring to that party. If you ain't coordinated and ain't a full team, it hurts in more ways than one.
All I'm saying is that was the funniest 5 minutes of watching a stream I was not involved in I've had in a long time. Yeah,
I swear to God.
Devil Dog, that's rough with a solid 5-man team.
Yeah,
4 is suicidal.
Yeah, it was. Let's just say I had to soak my hands in some warm water after that one, just because of the joints. The joints. Oh my God. Whew. Hands aren't meant to move that quickly with that much force, and yeah, it's like Beethoven playing the piano with a freaking gauntlet on from a medieval. Anyway, you get the point. Yeah. So.
And Blade, you have no room to talk.
Well, better than beams, but yeah. Well, Blade did as he saw fit. I mean, you can't blame a man for backing out of a battle with his friends, not having their backs, but he probably had something important to do, like
get a tank for his fish.
Hey, look, a piece of candy.
Candygram for Mongo. Candygram for Mongo.
Yeah, steal my line, mister.
Hey, you open the door.
And I'm gonna push it with it. All right, so you mentioned something about ground. Now, science ground can take a lot of different forms. There's the pure kind of science build where you're doing elemental type things. There's where you're doing sort of ground anomalies, heat, fire, whatever the case may be. But there is one way which is rather useful here. Give me a moment here as I have to deal with something real quick here. Doc, why don't you take over for just a moment? Bear with me.
You got it, boss. Blade, that mission is not that bad if you have a solid team. It has to be comprised a specific way if you want it to not give you a headache, that we have gotten...
2 tanks, 2 science, then like an energy build, essentially.
Right. Preferably, I would assume, some like fire at will for pinging everything? I could be wrong.
Thomas,
Sorry?
Huh?
your overflow.
Yeah, you got
it's
some...
been a busy day.
You got some expensive stuffs in there.
I've been here a long time. It accumulates. I can't help it. I mean, they keep doing those freaking upgrade weekend reward things, and yeah.
And Devil Dog, I'll put it like this: Core Fez is impossible to do, even in a side build like this, unless you have a minimum of 1 tank. Minimum. And Blade, I mean, if you want to, that's up to you, but like, okay, fam. Anywho, while Thomas gets his build ready there, are there any questions? Devil Dog think gravity kills elite but worse. That's all I'm gonna say on the matter. And I will see, Blade, that's the one I won't do and rather get kicked in the banana balls. Is gravity kills. Because, you know, somebody keeps
Did you say banana balls?
Yes, I did. Shut up. You told me to take over impromptu, so I'm doing so.
Pardon me, Mr. Banana Balls. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Banana Peel. Anywho, yeah. Also, I do need to see a doctor, but oh wait, I am one. That's my whole entire problem, Bahika. I never doctored myself. Gasp.
I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole.
Why only 10 foot? Why not
15 feet? It starts to bow too much, and I can't rely on its. Well, anyway, never mind.
A 3-meter pole got too unwieldy.
When we got to the Juggernaut the other day, it went down really quickly.
Oh yeah, it actually did. It did. Oh yeah.
I mean, yes, Blade, that's what she said. We know. You're worse than Michael Scott.
I'm ready when you guys are. Oh, by the way, I think it's one of those situations where we've got Romulans attacking from the west.
Okay, on it. Okay, oh, we're still in TFO. Beautiful! Advanced?
Yeah.
Okay. There are also Romulans attacking from the south.
Well, that's okay.
Romulans attack from south.
Romulans are attacking from the west.
Oh, too funny. Oh, I just remembered one thing that I wanted for that.
It really
Let's see if I can
is.
still get a hold of it.
Federation mining camp.
It's too much fun.
It's about as bad as the Drozana guy.
A little bit, yeah. Essentially, it's a thing.
Also, tardigrade. Woo!
Let's see. It's gonna be that there. Where is that other thing I was looking for there?
And yes, chat, I did have my happy pills today.
Can't you tell he's happy?
Happy, happy, happy.
Too happy? Let's see here. Where is that? Well, we can go with that.
I mean,
Hopefully.
doesn't it though?
I know. I wish I tried to bring mine, but for some reason it didn't.
Freedom!
Oh God, no!
That was just the funniest fucking thing. I turn around and I see him running, yelling freedom.
I shall fight you, Romulans! And I'm dead, yes! Glorious victory! I shall go to Stovokor.
Romulans are attacking.
God, that was funny. Frick.
Why? Why? Just why?
Oh, wow. Hello, Romulans. Did nobody go to the south? My gosh.
Romulans are attacking the central camp.
The lock's not here, I don't think.
Bold of you to
Oh.
presume I know what direction's what on this map.
I don't know. I just need help over here. They're in the camp and everything's dying. Good lord.
Romulans are attacking.
You're right. Locke is... Where is Locke?
So he must have had an issue there. Hopefully he'll come back.
Hopefully so. Anywho, you were saying about 4-man queues. Seems to be the weak of them.
Well, I'm not worried about it.
Romulans are attacking from the south.
No, this one's a wee bit easier than a Corey Fezzy.
A what?
A Corey Fezzy.
Oh,
Happy pills. They were a really good batch.
Romulans are attacking
it would
from the
appear. It
south.
would appear. Goodbye. Yeah, goodbye. Yeah, those you don't have to shoot them. They're my drones, dude. I make friends wherever I go. Welcome to the collective.
Wait, Devil Dog, you did a 4-man queue at your first wedding?
Well, I mean,
Okay,
rock on, dude.
I'm not sure how to interpret that.
Okay, well,
with
he's officially dead now.
Oh. Yeah, he might have had some issues with that. It can happen.
I think his web died.
Yeah, it might have been. It might have been.
That's... Yeah, because he isn't saying anything either. I imagine so.
Well, I'll tell you what, may I suggest when we get past this part here that when we proceed on one side as a team.
Yes. Yeah, he's out of Discord. I think he had a oopsie.
Yeah, his internet must have had some kind of a dumpy situation there.
It happens to the
Right,
best of
well,
us.
Tell us which side to meet up on. Captain Sinestro and I are over here.
Very good, very good. Captain Sinestro.
Does he have his agony beams?
Ha 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 ha.
Actually, wait, I can hear them from here. Gosh.
Yeah, they're agonizing. to say the least.
Left talk over there.
What now?
Left talk over there.
I was trying to, just kind of check out, make sure everybody was good there. Doc's got it. He's a strapping young man. Okay, I got you, Doc.
Gee, thanks.
No problem, man. I got you back. See, watch this. They're all drones now. Watch this. Drones.
See, watch that. I'm dead. Ha!
Okay. I'm gonna have to write your family a letter now. Great. Okay. Whatever.
That'd actually be the third one.
Hey, you know what? It's better than what Lockhart does with his freaking carrier pets. For God's sakes, those guys are just cannon fodder.
I
Sad.
know. There
All
we
right,
go.
How about come over to your side there?
Sweet.
Is there enough agony fields? I think we can use a few more.
I mean, Blade, it could either be that or I could be Dunk. We don't know yet. Or I could be Dunk and Kapai. Hi.
Yeah. I don't see why not.
Why do you guys have little mini UFOs?
They're funny. They're novelties. They're interesting to see. It's, I mean, don't they look funny?
I don't know what it is. Looks like a UFO, and sure you can had a baby, and it's shooting something.
Boy,
Yeah,
they learn quickly nowadays, don't they?
Yeah. See, when a drone and a phaser love each other very much.
I think you went there. You went where I was gonna go.
Would you all like to be part of my collective? I knew you would.
Oh gosh, you
Okay,
went hillbilly on it. Wow.
What the hell is that thing?
I'll tell you afterwards. It's one of my little recipes that
They're
are.
all over here.
To quote Blade, that's what she said.
Do what, Aura?
All of us are over here.
Oh, I thought we were going one direction, and I think most of us kind of found our way, but some of us might not have. My apologies.
We're all here. Hello.
Well, not today, apparently, with that stupid thing on. I must have missed something. Dang. What is that on there?
Yo, those Gorns were in a one-piece bathing suit.
I'm sorry, what?
This Gorn is wearing a one-piece bathing suit.
Well, he was hot. I mean, it's just, it's cooler to do it that way. It's better than a straight-up loincloth because, trust me, I've seen him do it. It's not fun.
No, it's nope. A tiny army of one-piece bathing suit Gorn. How cute are they? The fashion of 24/11, y'all. Gorn onesies. Oh, great! I got some blood wine.
I'm here all alone. Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, hell. They're all over here. Crap. Oh, my God. I'm going to die badly. Back up, please. Back up, please. Back up, please. Back up. Oh,
Working
back up.
on
Oh,
it.
God. Well,
There,
I mean...
Take team buff, take team buff, take team buff. Well, you're dead. Why did you YOLO it?
I The spirit moved within me. What can I tell you?
Yeah, the spirit moved all right.
Help! Call for help! Help!
Respawn! It'll respawn you right outside camp.
Okay, fine. I'll respawn.
Hi.
I know.
High maintenance SOB over here.
Science.
Uh-huh.
No wonder the Pharisans beat him.
Ooh, went for the jugular.
Yeah, that was personal. We're gonna have to. Yeah, I'll be
Wow.
my friend. We'll have a talk about that for Rassens. I'll have you know, they licked it. Oh, never mind.
I think she was trying to say they got past the Cations and then they licked the one drop of blood off their paw.
Oh no, we can be friends anymore.
You're welcome. Oh, yay, the Gorn with the sub-consoles. I love you, little Gorn. I shall
my gosh,
protect
you-
the sub-console one.
God. Oh, these all got to be mine. Oh, did you see that wall? Oh my God, that was a wall of crits. I like the color yellow now. Oh, stop trying to kill me.
Ow.
Ooh, whee.
I'm out of team buffs, by the way, so don't look at me.
I'm just gonna shoot her in the back if they don't mind. There we go. You just enjoy that. That was for you. All right, moving on. Oh, well, I saw you back there, you sneaky little not cool. Not cool at all.
No, they not cool. They not cool and they don't like nachos.
Their fashion sense is just, I mean, honestly. Who wears that color at this time of year? Die. Yep,
Oh my god, the DOTs. They suck.
Yeah.
They really do, and they're
And sometimes they
everywhere.
glow. It depends on the DOT, to be
Oh
honest.
my god, no.
Oh, they're everywhere. Oh gosh. Heal. Thank you. I'm trying, little feller. They're being particularly stubborn.
They are supposed to be stubborn. They're not cool.
Yeah, they are very not cool.
Joke just never gets old.
Oh,
Yet it's already.
Gosh, he just sniped me through a rock. A rock!
I do that all the time. What are you worried about? Get back in
They
the fight.
call it a mine. A mine.
Oh, don't make me watch that movie again tonight. I swear to God.
I mean,
They
yeah,
do the
but
squeeze thing usually, but it usually bangs and squeezes. It's kind of inconsistent. There you are. What's up, man? Oh, there was Captain Planet. Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to know what they were referencing with the banging and things.
Ralph Cramden?
I don't know. Maybe a pointy stick?
Who needs a pointy stick when you've got...
Keep calm and carry a pointy stick or a space wizard with you.
Carry a science guy with you. You won't need a pointy stick, or you won't need to be calm. You can be frantic, and you can have a rod. I don't know. Whatever you want. It's all good. You won't need it, though.
Also, their immunity stuff is twice as annoying as their DOTs.
You think so? Because I don't seem to care.
Critical 500.
Dead,
Critical
dead, dead,
600. Critical 900. Yay!
Oh, critical flanks in their faces, for frack's sakes. That's what you call a flanking shot. When you can flank someone in their face, you know you've got there.
Right?
They flank you in the face. Could you please die, you little...
Noodle.
Oh, disintegration.
They do look like crunchy noodles, though. Actually, no, I know. They look like egg rolls gone wrong.
Somebody's hungry and probably hasn't had dinner yet.
Yes, with the nice red foil toppings. That's what they are. They're egg rolls gone wrong.
I mean, honestly. Okay, let's see.
Yay!
There, 25%.
Nice! Oh, hello, my friends. Welcome to my nice little trap.
This whole thing is a killing field, for God's sakes. It's all a trap.
That was the idea.
Oh, well then success, because we completed.
Oh, man. That
Final
was...
report. Survey says...
Ding!
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. They died, man.
I was sweaties for a minute there.
Whew,
I've
man, oh man.
I injured 2 fingernails.
Oh, yeah. Well, imagine what you would have done in Corvez with 4 people.
He's not even here to give him grief about it.
Oh, he's here in spirit, and even if he's not gone to sleep, he's at least watching from beyond.
That could have been it, actually. He just forgot to tell us. Because I know he's got class, and class be important.
Totally. Whoop, hello there. Well, at this point, I know that Aura usually retires earlier here, and we did get a late start. So if you'd like to call it Aura, I certainly understand. We can call it stream. I think we've covered essentially, unless you can think of anything else, we've covered pretty much the basics on it. I mean, I could go into things like boffs and doffs, and details like that, but that really takes it into a level of minutia that most folks aren't going to worry too hard about.
Also, why did I get in a separate instance from literally the rest of y'all?
The gravel might have pulled you into it. I'm not entirely sure, my friend.
I don't know.
I have spent the last 15 or so minutes trying to figure out why I couldn't connect to the internet.
He is back! Hurrah!
Oh.
We were worried about you.
Did you snag a cord or kick the tower?
Nope. I don't really know. Just started working again.
Well, welcome back, sir. Well, I'll tell you, keeping in mind that we usually start a lot earlier than we did, and we usually go for about 2 hours or so. And I certainly want to be respectful to my fellow streamers and captains here. If we do need to call an evening for activities tomorrow for you in real life, I understand.
I do have classes tomorrow.
I do understand. Those real life is important. Science is always fun, but if we don't get the science in real life right, we can't do the science in game.
I just had what you had, Lockhart, where my internet just died for a little bit.
Oh, he's back again. My goodness. Okay, well, it might just be that time of night. I know that some areas have been having difficulties with the weather and other things going on there. But
or the nerd goes out for a split second.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what then. Why don't we call it there for this evening? I'm sure our audience will see us again. Now, personally, I want to apologize again for the technical issues we had this evening. We did endeavor to be on time here, but I think it'll go smoothly from here on out, and we'll be sure to do our best to ensure so. And I want to thank you all for not only watching the follows, and it's good to see so many friends here. This has become an enjoyable event weekly that we, the captains, really take delight in, and we thank you, because without you guys, it really wouldn't be the show it is. Please tune in again. You're going to see myself, Thomas Galactic Roamer. You're going to see Orasonic. Endeavor, game on. Doc, the Lightning Man, as we like to call him fondly.
Pew, pew,
Val,
pew.
Our honored guest we have, who is always awesome to hang with, and can, by the way, do a screenshot like nobody's business. Thank you so much. And as always, see you on the flip side.